Episode 7. The entirety of Volume 2. I wasn't gonna make another video this soon, but I think I have to because I need to talk about this. Where's my page? I wrote a freaking, here it is. So here's my Volume 2 analysis. I'm doing this a little differently since my last analysis where I sectioned off each episode because I have a lot to say. So, if you haven't watched the entirety of Volume 2, do not watch this, please, unless you want to have a bunch of spoilers. So, my number one thing I want to say is why did the Duffers queerbait us? Like, I don't get it. Why were there so many parallels and hints towards Byler and it was just dismissed? Why was there a build-up since season 2 and practically season 1 because that's when the Duffers wrote the crazy together scene and then not make it endgame? Why make them their own color scheme? Where was I? Why would you write a slow burn rejection? Especially when there's been no other slow burn rejections on the show. Like when Steve liked Robin, that got dismissed immediately. When Dustin liked Max, that got dismissed immediately. It just doesn't make sense to me. A show where every couple defies social norms and you can't make Byler endgame. Then why did Mike not care when Elle dumped him, but in the same episode rush to Will's house in the rain to apologize? Why did Mike's face after Elle kissed him at the end of season 3 look so confused and unhappy while he was standing in front of a closet? And in the same episode, act way happier when talking to Will? Why in season 4 did Elle say "you never say it" about Mike telling Elle he loved her, but later in the episode Will says "I didn't say it" and Mike says "you didn't have to"? And why the hell did the van scene take 12 hours to film? Not to mention so many more hints. Those are just the most blatant and reachable. Other than that, I didn't absolutely love Volume 2. It was exciting, but there wasn't much except flashing to and from scenes. That confused me a lot, and there was a lot that was just too much. I couldn't keep up, but that could just be me because I'm kind of dumb. I thought Max helping Holly and becoming a duo was like kind of cool, and I liked it. And how Lucas brought Max back kind of from Camazotz or her coma was really sweet. Like, I really liked that scene where she was like, I didn't really need Kate Bush, I just needed you. And I've always loved Lou Max. Like, who doesn't love Lou Max? And if like none of the other couples are endgame, I don't care as long as Lou Max is. And Byler, but we already kind of know that it's not going to be. I loved how everyone reacted when they realized she was conscious again. I thought the parts where they were in Holly's memories was kind of scary and a cool idea. I did bawl at Will's coming out scene because of how supportive everyone was. But like, why was everyone there? Why was Mr. Clark there? Why was Murray there? Why was Collie there? There was no need for all of them to be there. Like, why? Like, nobody's ever came out to that many people as their first time coming out to anybody. Like, dog, what? But I did like how everyone like hugged him and said, like, you'll never lose me, or me, or me, or me. And then how like Will went over to hug Max. That was cute. I just don't understand why Mike was Will's Tammy. Mike was clearly Will's happy memory, his video. He made him understand himself. He wasn't like a hallway crush like Tammy was to Robin. Will has like been in love with Mike for years, for like maybe even like 10 years. Tammy was just she was more of a crush Robin knew wouldn't like her back, and Tammy wasn't part of Robin's video that helped her find herself. Mike was, for Will. Anyways, I also liked all the Dustin angst, although I did cry when he was fighting Steve. I think he deserved to have a breakdown like that after all he's been through and all he's done for Hawkins and his friends. I'm glad Dustin and Steve are back to being friends again. And that Steve apologized for being an asshole, because what he said about Eddie, like, literally made me cry. Why are you saying that to someone who just lost, like, their best friend? Like, Steve's character was just kind of, like, it kind of changed a lot. I think all of the characters this season kind of reverted back to season 1. Like, Mike, he kind of took the leader role again, like, in season 1. Like, the protective role. I think Joyce also did that. I think they kind of, like, lobotomized Robin. Like, why is she stupid now? Like, she literally solved, like, the Russian code in season 3 and, like, practically saved them. But, you know. Like, why is she, like, just this character that's just so talkative now? And, like, I don't know. And I didn't really like how Robin and Vicky, like, ended, because they were just fighting, and then Vicky realized that, like, the monsters that Robin was talking about were real. And we didn't really get any, like, clarity to how the relationship was going to be. And I really liked their relationship, so I kind of want to see, I mean, we still have another episode, but I kind of want to see what that's going to come to, you know? Now, where was I? I'm glad Dustin and Steve are back to being friends again, and I already said that part. Steve apologized for being an asshole. I don't think either of them will die because they've already been through it, but you never know, because look at Will. Like, Will's been through, like, everything. Same with Holly, low-key. Like, why is Holly being, like, tortured in every single episode, and why is she, like, so brave? Like, she's just sticking through it. Like, dude. If one of them does die, it'll probably be Steve, and if they do stick to the you die, I die thing, I'll be bawling again. I didn't really like the proposal to Nancy, or the unproposal. I didn't know this when I wrote this, but apparently it was a breakup scene. The Duffers, like, confirmed that, apparently. Which I low-key don't care. I thought it was kind of cringe, and, like, I understand he thought they were dying, but it seemed like bad timing, and I just don't know if they'd work out married. They just argue so often, and they get in, like, little disagreements a lot, and they're always, like, on the cusp of being broken up. Don't get me wrong, I don't ship Stancy. I don't think they have, like, the same idea of what they want their life to be like as was talked about in Volume 2. But I've just never been completely sure about Jancy. I just kind of want Nancy to be independent. I just don't see her with Steve or Jonathan, if that makes any sense. That's all I wrote, but I was planning, because I was really tired and then I wanted to watch Heated Rivalry, so, because it was almost 12. Anywho, I need to think if there's anything else that I can talk about, because, I don't know, it just seemed like really poor writing. Like, not even just the byler part, but it just seemed like really bad writing, because everything was just moving so fast and switching in between scenes, like I already said. Like, I just didn't quite, I wasn't following, like, you know? Yeah. I guess we'll keep talking about byler. So, we do have one more episode, and it is supposed to be a longer episode, and this is what I've seen people saying. Vecna is the one who's making Will think that Mike is his Tammy. Mike is not his Tammy. Like, I've already said this. Mike is not his Tammy. And I am, like, pretty convinced that we won't have byler endgame. But I think it'd just be shitty writing. I think it'd just be bad writing if byler wasn't endgame. Why would they resolve Will's feelings to just a simple crush? It's been so long. It's been so long that he's been in love with Mike. And all the parallels, like all of the little clues on the set, like, and just all of like the songs and everything. I don't know how they're gonna resolve it in one episode, but I mean, I don't know. I want byler to be in game, and we have seen like Mike said to Elle, friends don't lie, and he used to say like girlfriends, boyfriends, you know, and now he's just saying friends, and we still don't know what happened in that 18 months. Mike and Elle could be completely broken up. Like, they're not really acting like a couple, they're just kind of acting like friends. Like, we haven't really seen any really cute Malevolent scenes. Plus, we saw Mike and Will, like, walking right next to each other in the field, right? Then, later, in Volume 2, we saw Hopper and Joyce walking next to each other in the field in, like, about the exact same spot. And Hopper and Joyce obviously are a couple, obviously are probably endgame, so kind of a parallel. And like in the first few minutes, like Mike and Will did hug. I mean, that could just be a friend thing. Like, they hugged a lot of people that season, so I'm not saying like, oh my god, 2 boys hugged, they must be in love. I'm not like that. Unless there's obvious clues. So make sure you guys don't have any byler doubt, because I sure do. But maybe it can be resolved in one episode. I don't know. But we're gonna keep pushing, guys. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna make byler canon. We can do it. Okay, bye.